Luke and I are out here doing a little bit of Christmas shopping. You ready, Luke? You gonna pick out something good for mommy? Sounds good.
It's Vlogmas, Vlogmas. It's Vlogmas, Vlogmas. It's Vlogmas, Vlogmas, and it's time to celebrate. Vlogmas.
Yay! Good morning, everyone. So I'm feeling really good today. Unfortunately, I think I'm the only one here that feels that way. All the kids have decided to huddle up in the nursery and watch a movie. So they're watching a movie here on this mattress. He's got a cough. That sounds terrible. He's got body aches.
Throwing up.
He's throwing up. And Bailey's got a sore throat. All four kids have different symptoms. They might all have the same thing, but they all have different symptoms. And it's very strange. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you throwing up or just coughing?
Coughing.
Oh man.
I like coughing in the bowl.
So I think the kids today are just gonna have a day where they're kind of watching movies, eating applesauce, recovering, drinking lots of fluid.
Yay.
Oh, he perked up over the sound of applesauce. So I'm gonna try and keep Luke healthy, try and keep these kids getting better on the mend, same with Jessica, and try and keep myself from getting sick. And yeah, get just fully recovered so that we can get back into being ourselves in the holidays. You want to be yourself?
Yeah.
Just be yourself.
I can't do that.
You can't do that?
Can I have some applesauce?
Yeah, I'm gonna get you some applesauce right now.
Daddy, do you remember that
That would be perfect.
the TikTok that we did a long time ago? Always be yourself. Pizza, 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 pizza.
I do not remember that.
You don't?
Was it a Musical.ly?
Yeah.
But you're calling it a TikTok because you're
Because it's a TikTok.
you're young and cool.
It's not called Musical.ly anymore.
Yeah. Get with it, Dad. It's not called Musical.ly anymore. So I think what I'm gonna do today is take the baby out of the situation. So all the kids are set up with a movie. Jessica's resting in the other room. She can hear them if there's a problem and can help them. But I'm gonna take the baby and do some Christmas shopping and
Nice one.
and pick up some stuff. Oh, you're for that?
Yeah, that's a good idea. While everyone's like,
Yeah.
So I feel like crud right now, but I wanted to say something because it's really important for breastfeeding moms or for people who are thinking about breastfeeding someday. Luke right now is nursing, and it's really, really important to nurse your baby when you feel sick or when people around you are sick, because your body is actually developing antibodies for the illnesses around you and creating ways of like fighting off those illnesses. So I've heard of some moms who will like be so nervous about their baby getting what they have that they just keep the baby away from them and will give like formula or pumped milk or something else. But the milk that you're making the day of having an illness is like the most important milk to be giving on that day. So if you have the ability to nurse your baby when you're feeling sick, it's really good to do so. So I just wanted to point that out. And I hope I said that well because I feel like a little bit out of my mind right now. My brain is so mushy and I've got a total headache. The key for getting the immunities to your baby when you're breastfeeding is that you have to get sick first. So like anytime my kids get sick and I have a little baby at home, I always hope that I get a little bit of that sickness, because if it gets to the baby before it gets to me, then I can't do as much to like shield him from it. So it's like really neat that we can do that. It's like, it's just incredible. And just in case you're worried that he's like 200 blankets, he's not at all. I'm just covering myself so that I'm being like, you know, modest for the internet. Hello, hi cutie. Anyway, I'm so grateful that he's nursing now. I'm just like, I'm so appreciative of it. I definitely had come to a point where I was like, okay, well, it might not ever happen. The fact that it's happening now feels like a miracle and just feels really awesome. I'm so grateful. And this right now where I'm lying down and nursing is one of the things that I was worried the most about missing out on, because it's like, this is my favorite way to nurse. It's like lying down next to the baby. He looks so tiny. He could still get sick, but this is what I can do right now that's like the best way to lower those chances. So that's what we're doing it. And I did pump this morning so that if Christopher does need to take Luke away for a little bit, it still should have all the good stuff that my body's creating to fight this yucky germiness. Oh, sweet little boy.
All right, Luke and I are out here doing a little bit of Christmas shopping. You ready, Luke? You gonna pick out something good for mommy? Sounds good. Ooh, the Jessica section. Ooh, the Eric Stockland section. We are in the game section of a store, and I get asked all the time what board games we like to play as a family. What are good board games as a gift? So if you're looking for board games for somebody for Christmas, I've got a few recommendations for you. Okay, this game's really fun. It's sort of like a strategic war style game where you have all these like cool mythical creatures that are battling each other. It's kind of complicated to set up, and learning it is kind of complicated, but actually playing it is pretty easy and a lot of fun. I've only played this game a couple times. It's a lot of fun. Jacob and I really like playing it. It is a strategic placing game where you're planting trees and then paying for them to grow, and then they block other trees from getting sunlight, and the sun moves around the board. It's pretty fun. This one has security all over it because it's very expensive, but it's also really fun. There's an app, and you use like your phone or an iPad or a tablet or something, and it kind of walks you through how to play the game. It's really cool. You're working together to solve a mystery. To be honest with you, I thought they would have a lot more games here, so I'm going to show you some games that I have at my house that come even more highly recommended. And that way, if you're buying a game for somebody, you know what to get. These make good gifts. This one too. So the truth is, we've already done most of our Christmas shopping online, but I still like to go out, feel the Christmas rush, support local businesses, and also get inspired. I don't feel as inspired for like unique gifts for people as much online. Sometimes. But when you're actually in a store and you get to pick things up and feel them, that's kind of a cool thing. But I will say that there is more frustration, at least for me, when I go out to a store, when I'm looking for something specific, because usually it's out of stock, and that's kind of disappointing. I somehow ended up at a store that sells guitars. All right, we just had a little diaper blowout, and so Luke's wearing new clothes now. So we had a little parking lot diaper change and outfit change, and now we're having a little parking lot snack. If you don't already know this about me, I love guitars. There was a gift that I needed to get at that store, but I also played with some of the guitars that they have there. In fact, I started a new channel called Gifted Guitars, where I build guitars for people, and I'm currently working on one for Jojo Siwa. It's a really cool guitar. I'm really excited about it, really proud of it, and I just posted a new episode today about that guitar, about building that guitar. So if you want to check it out, I'll put a link to the channel right up above me here somewhere. It's up there. You can check it out. There will also be a link in the description of this video. So please check it out. It's a lot of fun. It's a really, really fun new project that I'm working on. And I've already built a guitar for Colleen and a guitar for the Westlife. So if you haven't checked out the channel, there's a lot there to check out. And I love reading through the comments. People have told me that they had no interest in guitars or building things, and they still like the channel a lot, which is a huge compliment. And I think anybody that tried out the channel, checked out the channel without thinking that they would like it. And yeah, there's a new video there today, so I hope you check it out. You almost done, buddy? I got really lucky because I didn't pack a backup outfit, but I had one in the car from before. So he's actually wearing a Halloween themed outfit. It's got little ghosts and bats on it. Ooh, good burp!
Good burp.
All right, as promised, I am back home and I'm gonna show you some of my favorite games put them into some categories so that if you're shopping for someone, you'll be able to find a game that fits that person perfectly. Also, I should mention that at the store today, I've seen most of these games at that store in the past. These are readily available games. They're pretty easy to find. You can probably find them at Target. You can definitely get them online. But I chose these because they're popular games and they're a little more advanced, a little more fun to play. For the person who wants to play a simple game that still has good strategy, I recommend Splendor. This is a game where you're spending resources to help you make more resources, and you build up your wealth and your prestige in this game. It's a lot of fun, really easy to play. Parker, I think, was playing this at 5. It says 10 plus on the box, but it's a 2 to 4 player game, really fun. All of our friends love it. Splendor. This is kind of the classic Euro game, Settlers of Catan. I believe it's normally called Catan now, and it doesn't come in a box that looks like this. You can see this box is worn and used and old and well loved. This particular game is 3 to 4 players, so if it's just like you and another person, not going to work out so well. But if you have 3 or more people that want to play a fun game, this is a good one. There are tons of expansions, and it's a really good interactive game because there's a lot of trading and strategery and good stuff. So I highly recommend this. And for the person who is going to be playing with a small child and you can't do another game of Candyland or Chutes and Ladders, you need something with a little more substance, Catan Jr. Here it is. This is actually a really, really fun game. It's a great way to introduce someone to Catan, and you can play it with 2 players, so you don't need the third person, which is sometimes hard to get when you're playing a game. So Catan Jr., great game to play with little kids. This says 6 plus, but I've played it with 4-year-olds before. They were smart 4-year-olds, but still. For the even smaller child, I recommend the game Zingo. It's bingo with a zing. This is the time-telling one, so they have educational ones. The reason I have this one is because I couldn't find the other one. Duncan plays with it constantly, so it's always shifting places in our house. The classic one is fantastic. It's super easy. You can play with a 2-year-old. It's basically, you've got this little zinger thing. It's bingo. But we use it to teach our kids manners. They don't just grab things. They have to say, I need that piece, or may I please have that piece, and then thank you when you hand it to them. It's good stuff. This is a really good game. Zingo, highly recommended for youngsters. 2 to 5 player game, Carcassonne. You're placing tiles and people on those tiles to claim different regions and things like that. It's really easy to get going and play this game. I highly recommend Carcassonne. My personal favorite game, Memoir 44. It is based in World War II. It comes with a bunch of really cool little army men. It's basically like an excuse to play with army men. You build the map every time you play the game, and you build it based on actual battles. There's a booklet that explains actual battles that happened in World War II, and you get set up similarly to how those battles were set up before they were fought, and you get to kind of reenact them in a much safer and friendly environment. I really, really like this game. I like the way that it plays. I like everything about it. Jessica will play it, but I think it's more of like, I play with my buddies that are into like war history. So only 2 players though. It's a 2-player game, so you have been warned. Another 2 to 4 player game. This game here, Stone Age, not very well known, but it is a really fun game. You're basically building a civilization and choosing how your people are going to get delegated to do different jobs. Your tribe will farm and grow as you play it. It's a little complicated. I recommend playing this one with somebody who knows how to play it first, or look up a tutorial online. But once you get going, it's actually pretty easy. You're just placing people where you want them to go and rolling dice. But it's also really fun, and the games are always different, so. Stone Age. Another box that's totally beat up because we use it constantly, Dominion. This is a card game. I'll show you the inside. When I first saw this, I thought it was nuts that this huge box was just a card game, but the cards are all organized in here because you build a different deck every single game. You can play 2 to 4 players. It's a great 2-player game. This, Memoir 44, Splendor, and Carcassonne, all really, really good 2-player games. It's pretty easy to get going with this game. There are a lot of expansions. Highly recommend Dominion. The ultimate game, in my opinion and my family's opinion, is this one right here, Pandemic. If you don't like being competitive with people that you love in your life, don't worry. you play as a team in Pandemic. Basically, you are a team that is trying to stop 4 viruses from taking over the world and destroying all known civilization. You either all win together or you all lose together. You're playing together against the board, and it is a lot of fun, lots of expansions, and for people who have played this, the ultimate gift, I think, would be Pandemic Legacy. This is season 2. There are 2 seasons currently of Pandemic Legacy, and what a legacy game is a game that you play once. It's a very, very long game with lots of different rounds. You play it once and it tells a story, and when the story's done, you're done with the game and you've had the experience, and you don't keep this, it's done. It was kind of wild to me the first time we ever played it because it was asking us to rip up cards and destroy them, or put stickers on the board, or like kill off characters, it destroy cities. It was nuts, but it was super fun. There's all these twists and turns in the storyline. You think you're going for one thing and then something else happens. It's super, super fun, really, really cool. I believe you play 12 to 24 rounds. Each round is basically a regular Pandemic full game. So you play a full game of Pandemic 12 to 24 times depending on how much you win or lose. The board changes, the rules change, everything is fluid in it, and they have a really cool way of making a storyline out of this. Really, really cool. But definitely start with this. Get this down first and then go for the legacy. Those were my picks for the best board games to get as gifts for the Christmas holiday season. If you have a board game that you love to play or your family loves to play, please put it in the comment section down below. Because everyone was sick today and we were super busy yesterday, we are a little behind on our advent calendar. Don't worry, we'll catch up. Probably open up like 3 doors tomorrow. So I'm sorry if you missed that, but we haven't opened any without you. You'll definitely be a part of it. So be sure to tune in tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching today, and we'll see you next time.